Let's see if we can't find it. There we are. The stream is up and running. I'll just double check the audio. The audio is definitely working. That's good. Everything is running smoothly. So, hello and welcome everyone to the fourth round of the AM1 Championship here on Contest of Speed. We are back, and this time at Autodromo Nazionale Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. It's a 3.6 mile, 11 turn circuit that was built in 1922. Making it the third oldest racetrack, or permanent racetrack in the world. Regarded as Formula One's Temple of Speed, Monza is quite simply a legendary racetrack. The atmosphere that this circuit provides is second to none, due to the enormous presence of the Tifosi, the ever-devoted fans of Scuderia Ferrari. There are several overtaking spots on the circuit, the most prominent of which is with the help of DRS down the pit straight, heading into the heavy braking zone into turn 1, the famous Rettifilo chicane. The other overtaking spots you'll probably find on the circuit are at turn 4, the Della Roggia chicane that Breezy is coming up to now, and the Ascari chicane, turn 8, and that is with the help of DRS as well. You have to be careful at Ascari, though. Over the past few games, turns 9 and 10, have been a hotspot of several accidents, with drivers taking too much of the inside curb at turn 10 and spinning out into the barrier. It's been a very common thing to do. In this game, though, I have noticed it's not as bad as what it once was, but it's still a notorious bit of track. And some real-life news, and I'm sure many people have heard about, is what's going on with the famous final corner here at Monza, the famous Parabolica curve. It is to be renamed after the late Michele Alboreto, who raced for Ferrari in the mid-80s. He passed away during a testing accident at the Lauritz-Ring in Germany, but he drove for Ferrari for 5 years. So the corner will be renamed in his honor. We're going to be calling it Curva Alboreto. It's a very nice touch to one of the better Italian racing drivers to have ever lived and had the honor of driving for Scuderia Ferrari. Now, a bit of news from the previous race over in France. There were several racing incidents that were reported, so I'll just discuss about them for just a little moment. There was an incident involving Cos Cameron and Andy Wu. In fact, two incidents. First of which was dubbed that Andy was at fault, and that is someone sideways off the circuit there. Andy was deemed at fault, awarded a 5-second time penalty for causing avoidable contact. There was a second incident where Cameron goes for a late move down the inside of Andy at turn 14. The stewards believe that that was a racing incident between the two, so no penalty applied. And Andy demonstrating why you have to be so careful at turn 10. Thank you, Andy, for the demonstration. But luckily, he's still in the race, or rather still in qualifying. Only has a little bit of front wing damage as Passassin jumps up to the top of the table. There was also an incident between Barmer and Lunacy, where Lunacy was dubbed at fault, given a 5-second time penalty. Other than that, though, and some minor penalties due to some I believe some TAS issues. Nothing major from France, which is good to see. Another bit of news is that recently a new patch was released for 2021. That's a Red Bull with a missing front wing. That's Lopez. So he's lost his front wing somewhere. Bersey's out of the session. He's crashed out. Whereabouts is that? That is at turn 10. And behold. See if we can't find someone. Arba, we'll use you. There he is then. Spun out, hit the barrier, out of qualifying. It shows you it's a very tough bit of circuit. Seems that everyone has set their first flying laps. Still have 4 drivers in the pits, yet to set a lap time. But yes, 1.08 was released a few days ago. It was a small patch, it was only 230 megabytes. But its timing was rather awkward for the Pacific side of things. Came out about 30 minutes before some league racing on Tuesday, and yeah, played a lot of havoc. But what they've done is that they've made tweaks to the handling model to remove an unrealistic element with low speed cornering. Whatever that means. Going around some of the slower corners, I don't see an unrealistic element, but obviously they've rectified it. They've also added various AI improvements, general stability improvements, and various minor fixes. So nothing major on that front, but I can assure you that small patch played a lot of havoc back on Tuesday. My goodness. Now, with everything out of the way, we can now focus purely on qualifying. Got plenty of time left in the session, and the reason why we got a yellow flag isn't because there's an incident, it's because someone's run out of fuel. The game does this now during qualifying. If a car runs out of fuel, they'll be travelling slow enough to trigger yellow flags. It's a bit annoying, but, you know, it tells the drivers on the circuit that, hey, there's a slow car on the track, be aware. Just makes it a bit irritating because the yellow flag indicator is right on top of the timer, so as soon as it comes up you can't see how many minutes are left in the session. And it's a pity because they can't move it, because Codemasters, for whatever reason, won't allow you to move any of this stuff for a spectator. They will for a driver, but not for a spectator. P-Dog Payton coming towards the end. No, sorry. He's not coming towards the end of a flying lap. He's going to duck into the pits is what he's going to do. Lunacy on the flying lap. He's on the medium tyre. I believe the strategy around here is a fairly simple soft medium or medium soft, if I recall. Maybe a soft hard as well. Or very sideways there. Car is quite unstable at the exit of the second Lesmo. Towards the Ascari chicane at 340 kilometers an hour. Exiting the chicane, you can see him avoiding the inside curve as Lopez has another moment. This time at the exit of Curva Alboreto. I wouldn't be at all surprised if I still called this corner Parabolica. It's a great name too. Both of them are great names, but I really do like Parabolica. It sounds so cool. Across the line comes Lunacy, 11th fastest on the medium tyre, with a 1 minute 20.570. Still sitting pretty at the top of the table is Cos Passassin, with a 118.389. He's a long way clear of the rest of the field. I'll tell you what, he's coming through Ascari, and he's going to let some cars by. That was SWM Bean, who is back, that's good to see, in the Alfa Romeo. He was absent last week. Warming up his tyres, look. Weaving the car. Get some temperature into the front tyres. He'll come around Curva Alboreto. Set off on a flying lap around this fantastic 3.6 mile circuit. DRS open down the pit straight. Watch the speedo climb. 340 kilometers an hour. 342 into the braking zone at Rettifilio. Second gear locking up through turn 2. Fourth gear on the exit just to get the traction down. Into Curva Grande, turn 3. Eighth gear, hugging the inside as if it was your favourite granny. Towards the Della Roggia chicane, turns 4 and 5. Cuts it healthily. Bean moves out of the way. He's obviously made a mistake. Into the first Lesmo, fourth gear. Short shifts to fifth. Sixth gear on the exit, seventh. As he enters the second Lesmo. It's a very nice exit there. DRS open. Heading towards the Ascari chicane, where we've seen so many incidents just recently. Very wide approach. In fact, he's overdone it. He's invalidated. He's spinning. And fortunately, he's not out of qualifying.
he moved rather sharply to the right in order to try and open up the left-hander of turn 8. But as a result of that, he completely missed the apex of turn 8, lost control through 9 and 10, ended up in the barrier. I don't know how he's still racing, to be perfectly honest. That was a heavy impact into the barrier. He should be thanking his lucky stars, but he's still in qualifying. KD is pulled off to the side. Freddie? Yeah, you're not on a flying lap. Wing it, are you? Seems like you are. Currently the highest placed Ferrari with a 119.792, very wide at the second Lesmo. Barreling towards Ascari. 340 Ks. That's very nice through there. Oh, hello Freddie, you're in the wrong spot, buddy. Right on the racing line. There's not much Freddie could have done in that situation, to be perfectly honest. He did the best he could, running on the curb like that. Just wing it. Wasn't able to fully utilise the curve, crosses the line, stays 9th fastest, but he does improve by 2.5 tenths of a second. Electric Blade and Lunacy are on out laps. Payton is on a flying lap. Heading towards Curva Alberetta. 328 kilometers an hour on entry. 4th gear. Has to feather the throttle to not run too wide on the exit. Coming up to the finish line to 19.3, 8th quickest. Improves by 3.5 seconds. That's a big improvement. Clearly his first lap wasn't too competitive. JD, I believe you're on a flying lap. Nope. No, he isn't. Into turn 1 comes Breezy in the Williams. Are you pushing? He's not using any battery, so I'm going to say he isn't pushing. And that's KD into the barrier. I recommend stopping the car, KD. There we are. Give DHL a nice little plug there. That big DHL signage around the circuit. Very nice. I like it. Peyton, you're coming back in. What about you, Vermoo? You on a flying lap? Don't think so. I don't think he was using any battery there. No, he is definitely using battery. He's in the Charles Leclerc mobile, clearly. And that's an invalidation at the exit of the second Lesmo. Lunacy back into the pits. Lopez as well. Abba, you're on a flying lap. Heading towards Ascari. Very nice through there. Nice and comfortable. Well under control. Heading around the final corner now. Puts it down to 5th gear. Back on the throttle. Nice and gentle. Hugs the inside. No, he's coming back into the pits too. Dear me. Hard to tell whether someone's on a flying lap or not around here at Monza because it's all straight. Like typically if there's a few corners in between, it's a bit easier to spot when they're not on a flying lap because they're not pushing anywhere near as hard through the corners. On the straights though, you just go flat out. Very difficult to spot. Alright, Electric Blade, are you on a flying lap? No, you're not. That's 1 minute 25. You're definitely not on a flying lap. Oh, Kit and Petter. Using all the track and then some. And then invalidating. He's backing off. Will he set another flying lap? He's only got 3 minutes 40 seconds left in the session. You have to be quite careful with the amount of time left. He's going to duck back in. Drivers have to be quite careful at pit entry as well. It's a very fast approach. It's 80 kilometers an hour, but it's still a very fast approach into the pit lane. You don't want to brake too late. JD on a flying lap, for sure. Heading around Curva Grande. Look at that, hugging the inside a lot there. Towards turns 4 and 5, the Della Roggia chicane. Takes it very nicely, except on the exit. Spoke too soon. Reverse, there we are. Oh, careful, there's 2 cars coming. That is a Red Bull, Lopez, and Passassin, who's on an outlap. Gets it going. First gear. Oh, lovely. Gets it back on the racetrack. KD, you're on a flying lap. Well, the Tifosi can't cheer on the Ferraris. They'll cheer on the Alfa Romeos, that's for sure. Currently the highest place Ferrari, P10. Highest place Alfa is KD in 7th place. That is a car off the racetrack. That is a Mercedes. That is Barma off the racetrack, utilising the escape road there. Through the second Lesmo. DRS open, down towards the Ascari chicane. Very nice. Through the chicane, 6th gear, 7th on the exit, not touching that inside curb. Probably doesn't dare to touch that inside curb. Gets it around Curva Alboreto. Might get a sneaky little toe here from Fredhead. Teeny weeny one. Comes up to the line. 3rd quickest for KD. A 19 flat. Be happy with that, I'm sure. Assassin is in a little group here, as Electric Blade has retired from the session. Cameron, though, is not in a little group. He's on a fast lap. Got just over a minute left in the session, so these are going to be the final flying laps for a lot of these drivers. Around the 2 Lesmos. He does have a Ferrari and an AlphaTauri in front. Oh, he went onto the grass there. You could hear the gravel bashing itself against the car. 2.5 tenths up. And again, a similar technique to Passassin by opening up, running too wide. And he doesn't invalidate. Wow, okay. But yeah, very similar technique to Passassin there. Oh. This isn't going to be his flying lap. He's going to have another go because he screwed up Ascari. He has enough time to do that. So he's going to have another crack. I wish that yellow flag indicator would go away. There we are. Yeah, 5 seconds left in the session. I saw that game. Can't trick me. I did see that. There we are. No more time left in the session. This will be the final flying laps for everyone still competing. Passassin coming around the second Lesmo. There's a McLaren in front. Not that it should impede him. Towards the Ascari. We saw him make a big mistake here a few moments ago. His teammate Freddie has gone 3rd quickest. Nails turn 8. Really aggressive through 9 and 10. Carrying a lot of speed. And he backs out. Oh, he's out of fuel. He's out of fuel. Oh, dear. He wasn't paying attention to that. Oh, and Cameron's invalidated, so he can't improve. Andy's back into the pits. Wingett's invalidated. Famu? Maybe you've just invalidated then. Yeah, he's going off to greet the Tifosi and smash a DHL board while he's at it. You know, the usual. Oh, but Passassin running out of fuel with a straight and a corner to go. Oh dear. There we go. I believe that's qualifying over. What is Freddie up to? Just dawdling about the circuit. This Mercedes doesn't sound nice at low revs. Ooh. What is Freddy up to? Give us a good look at the virtual Tifosi, I suppose. Look at them cheering us on. Not quite red enough, I feel. Too multicolored. Needs to be more Italian. And he goes into the pits. Could have just crossed the line. Would be a bit quicker. Anyway. Considering the finish line was literally right there. Anyway, doesn't matter. But there we are. Possasson on pole by a healthy margin to cause Cameron. Look at that. 3.5 tenths the margin between P1 and 2. Then Possesson's teammate Freddy, P3 with a 19 flat. KD 4th. JD 5th. Arbar 6th. Andy 7th. Breezy 8th. Peyton in 9th. And Barmer rounds out the top 10. All of them starting on the soft compound tyre. Right. Qualifying out of the way. It's now time to start the drama. The race itself is probably going to be fairly dramatic early on with the bunched up field. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw an incident either at turn 1 or at the Scari chicane. Most notably turn 10. Outside of the top 10 we have Wingit in the Ferrari, the highest placed Ferrari. Electric Blade in P12, Kit and Peta 13th, Lunacy 14th, Bean 15th, Vermou 16th, Lopez 17th, and Bursey will start from the back of the field after crashing out early on, not setting a lap time. But fairly close, 1.5 seconds between, what was that, P16 up to pole position, so fairly close, but you do expect that around here at Monza, considering pretty much the entire circuit is straight. Or at least flat out. You know. I like to think Monza is just sort of a whole bunch of straights with a couple of chicanes as well as the 2 Lesmo curves and of course the newly dubbed Curva Alboreto. Now it's time for the race itself. No clouds about from what I can see from that little bit of sky. Seems to be fairly clear. So I don't think we'll have any sort of weather complications over the course of this race. Drivers will be fine-tuning their setups, probably removing a little bit of wing from the front. Deciding how much fuel they want in the car. Now, considering that this is Monza, it's fairly likely that we will have a safety car. So, perhaps there might be a driver or two that risk underfueling the car. Because what happens is, when a safety car does come out, because you're not at race pace, you're not dumping any fuel. Which means you then, towards the end of the race, have about 2 or 3 laps extra than what you would have had. Makes the car a little bit heavier. So some drivers may risk underfueling the car in the expectation that there will be a safety car at some point. It's a fairly big risk, especially here at Monza. But it might be a risk that pays off, who knows. Drivers are lined up, ready to go on their formation lap. Let's have a closer inspection on who's on what tyre. Now we know the top 10 are starting on softs. Outside of the top 10, the first car is the Ferrari of Wingit. P11 starting on soft compound tyres. Electric Blade P12 starting on mediums. Kit and Peta in P13 on the soft tyre. Lunacy 14th on the mediums, Bean 15th on the softs. Vermou and Lopez P16 and 17 starting on the mediums. Bursey at the back of the field starting on the soft tyre. And that is Bean. What are you up to? Lost it there and he's gathered it back up and away he goes. Now for the soft runners outside the top 10, They want to try and make up positions early on. Try and claw their way into the top 10 and keep up with the front runners. For the medium drivers, they're going to try and do the same thing. They're going to try and make the most of the medium tyre, try and keep up with those ahead. That way, when the drivers in front do switch on to the medium tyre, they should have a little bit of an advantage because they had a better medium stint. That's what they're trying to do. But they have to be incredibly careful. If they get damaged, they sort of waste the medium tyre, and there's might be a chance of an unfortunately placed safety car, which sort of forces them onto the hard or to not stop at all. So these guys are playing a risky game. See if it pays off for them. Leaders are making their way back onto the pit straight. Finally got temperature into their tyres. And they're preparing themselves for Monza Turn 1. And we all know the stereotypes about this. Hopefully, everybody gets through there cleanly. Can't help but feel, though, this probably isn't the case. This is Monza. This is what happens here at Monza. Assassin on the outside. He's on the racing line. He should get better grip. But if Cameron can get a good launch, he might be able to be the leader into turn 1. 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go. Cameron appears to have gotten a fairly solid launch. He's alongside Assassin. Freddie tries to find a way by. Can't do it though. Down the inside he looks into turn 1. He will be the leader, though Assassin fights but not hard enough. And everyone gets through. Oh, hang on. There's a car off the track. That's an Alfa Romeo. That's Bean. He falls to last place. Not a great start for SWM Bean. Heading towards the Della Roggia chicane. It is Cameron who leads. Assassin still in P2. KD in 3rd place. A nice start from him. He's got Freddie right behind. And the AlphaTauri of Arba in P5. Heading down towards the Ascari chicane for the first time in race conditions. Will we see anyone make a mistake through here? Heading into the infamous chicane. Turn 8, turn 9. Have to be very careful on the curbs. Arba runs wide. Here comes JD. He uses his battery. Oh, you should have been sitting in the slipstream, buddy. Should have been sitting right there. Right on his gearbox. Let Arba go after making that mistake. But everybody gets through. Only one driver had a moment, and that was Bean. And that's Vermouth. And he's got a completely shattered front wing. Oh dear, the Tifosi won't like that at all. Comes into the pits. Oh, in the background, an AlphaTauri and a Red Bull was side by side. That was Berzi and Lopez, I reckon. Into turn 4 and 5. KD a bit of a moment. But look at Cameron pull away already. A gap of almost 2 seconds. That's massive. How has he pulled that off? I mean, Assassin had a lot of pace in qualifying, but Cameron's absolutely bolted out in front. But also this is quite typical of Monza as well. These sort of trains forming when not a lot happens. It's a bit like a NASCAR race. You won't see a lot of racing early on, except from those who want to be really aggressive. But if we still have this sort of pack going towards the end of the race, then you'll see the drivers become really aggressive. But right now, it's a matter of survival. Just getting through the first few laps, not making any mistakes. Bit of squabbling going on in the background. Not a lot happening up here, so let's have a look at what's going on back here. Got a bit of a gap forming. Lunacy down in 13th. He's 2.3 seconds behind Wingit in P12. Put that down to the medium tyre. He's losing a whole bunch of ground. And Peyton has fallen to the back of that train. He's now down in P12. He hasn't lost any more positions, but unfortunately as well, he's still on the back of the train. Yeah, very typical of Monza. Let's see a change in position here. Bersey overtakes Electric Blade. That was for 14th. Here comes Freddie. DRS open, and there's not a lot KD can do. Through goes the Aston Martin into P3. Locking up on the way in, though. Assassin trying desperately to catch up to Cameron. Gap of 1.6 seconds. Sector 3 rather, yellow flags. That's Vermu. He's made a mistake at Ascari. Nothing's come of it. Car's still going. Bean and Lopez bringing out yellow flags. It seems Bean must have made a mistake. He's lost time. There's also a yellow flag in that sector. Oh, Arba running too wide there, and JD goes through. Breezy will try and follow. Through Curva Alvareto. These guys should have DRS. Arba closing in. He's got a lot of straight line speed in this AlphaTauri. Closing in, closing in, closing in. Looks to the inside. And he's trying to do the same. Unable to do so, but Arba slightly more successful. He's through. JD tries to slot in. They're side by side, Breezy and JD. Oh, Jesus Christ, Codemasters. Wouldn't have minded a better camera shot rather than this one for the outboard shot. Anyway, it's Codemasters for you. Sector 3 yellows, that is Vermu again. Not having a great day. Here comes Peyton towards the Ascari chicane, looks to the inside of Wingit, and he's through into P11. He's got a 1.1 second margin to Kittenpeto. I don't think he'd be able to get DRS. So I reckon these two are going to keep scrapping. JD and Arba nose to tail here. Heading through Curva Alvareto, and JD is through. Back into 5th place. Does he have DRS though? Let's find out. He does. And here comes Breezy to slipstream past Arba. Arba falls to 7th, but he fights back down the inside of turn 1. They're side by side through 2. And Arba hangs on. Only just, but he hangs on. Here comes Breezy. Sitting right in the slipstream, looks to the inside. Oh, and Breezy jumps the curb, loses a whole heap of time. Now, Andy, can he overtake the Williams? And that is Lunacy. He is spun out. That is at the exit of turn 5. He gets the car going again. That's Vermu once again having a mistake at Ascari. Not a great day for Vermu. Not a great day at all. Yeah, this is less than ideal. He gets going again. Very nice. Leading the way still is Cameron, but the gap is closed to 1.1 seconds. Persasson still doesn't have DRS though. It's now both Aston Martins really closing up to the leader. Might be a 2-on-1 battle here. Zaba and JD still scrapping. My goodness. Bamu has retired from the session. I suppose that's understandable. He's had several incidents at Ascari. Race is basically over. Heading towards the Della Rosia chicane. JD looked there. Didn't commit to anything though. Towards the two Lesmos we go. Nice and steady. Trying not to make any mistakes. Use DRS, close in on the AlphaTauri of Arba. Closes in a lot actually. Oh, in a moment! There at turn 9. Breezy can't capitalise though. Not close enough. But you saw there, the car got caught by the curve. Whole heap of oversteer at the apex. Fortunately, JD was on top of it. Caught the oversteer and didn't lose too much time as well. The Alpine uses DRS, uses overtake as well. Looks to the inside. And that's Aston Martin that spun. It's Freddie. He spun out. There he is over there. He's overtaken by KD. Now, did Freddie lose it by himself, or was he helped by his teammate perhaps? I'm not sure. Because I know Freddie and Persasson were quite close together on track. Regardless, Freddie's now down to 4th. Arba still applying pressure to JD. What a great little scrap this is. It might be Dougie. It might be. That's Peyton losing a whole bunch of positions. He's fallen to the back of the field. What back is she? 16th. Oh, what's going on here? JD. Oh, hello, what's this? Down the back straight away towards Curva Alboreto we go. 5 cars all in a group, you know. Nothing major, my goodness. Caught me completely off guard. Arba going into pit lane with JD. They slam on the brakes and they pull up just in time. But Freddie pitting, Cameron pitting, Arba, JD, all of them in the pits. To put on the medium compound tyre and go to the end. Very quick stop there, nice and tidy. And that's Peyton retiring from the session. He's had enough. Surprised to see no safety cars. Kind of surprised. And he's within a second. He should be able to close in on Breezy just a little bit. The rest of the gaps are pretty big. For Monza, at the very least. And that's Persasson! He's out! He's crashed at Ascari! There he is! And the first safety car has been deployed! Oh, me and my big mouth. Said there wasn't a safety car in the first few laps, and lo and behold, we get one. And it's the race leader. He's out. All that pace in qualifying. All that pace. And this has really screwed over the medium runners too. And Persasson isn't happy. Just saw the Discord notification. Yeah, he's not happy. Neither would I, buddy. Neither would I. But this has helped out these fellas massively, who started on the soft tyre towards the front of the field. Help their races out. Cameron in P2, he'll be behind Lopez. He has electric blade right there. KD in P4 now. Effective P2. as Lopez and Blade will have to make stops at some point. That makes Breezy P3, Andy P4, Freddy down to 5th, Barmer P6, Wingit P7, but he's on the hard tyre. Dearie me, that's massive. Can't quite believe it as well. Out in front, no pressure from any car behind, just trying to go as quick as you can, and the mistake of Ascari has cost you big time. Very easy to do that though, at Ascari, so easy to do. This is on PlayStation, Joe. PlayStation. Probably a combination of both PS4 and PS5. I'm on PS4 still. There isn't a lot of PS5s going about at the moment. Dearie me. So, we're going to dawdle behind the safety car for a few laps. Everyone trying to keep temperature into their tyres. Everyone stop. Bursey's coming back in. He's probably going to stick on a set of mediums. There they go. So he's met the mandatory 2 compound requirement. Lunacy comes flying by. He's on soft tyres, Lunacy. Don't think they'll make it, but who knows, there might be another safety car. Waved my magical commentary magic, and fortunately, car effective was Possessor out of the race. Crashing out of the sky. Just as soon as I said there hasn't been a safety car after 9 laps. Dearie me. So how will Lopez control this? When will he go? That's one of the troubles with Monza. Sometimes it can be a difficult place to restart because you've only got one corner really to try and pull away from the drivers behind you. It's a fairly quick corner, Curva Alboreto. Oh, dearie me, Blade jumping about there. Look at all the drivers trying to get temperature into the tyres. Look at those wonderful Codemaster trees. The virtual Tifosi, oh lovely. The DHL bridge, spectator bridge, very nice. Right, when will... Oh, he goes! Wow! He bolts, and that's actually quite a good restart. He even caught me off guard there. What a restart. The gap is still 1 second, but still, that was a very good restart there from Lopez. He leads away, begins lap 12 of 27 here at Monza. In the background now, Breezy and Andy, side by side into Rettifilio. Andy tries and fight. Oh, there was some contact there for sure. They're side by side still, but Breezy is through into 5th place as they enter Curva Grande. Sitting in the slipstream though, the McLaren is going to fight. Cameron gets by Lopez, that is for the lead. Side by side through the chicane. Oh, contact! But they give each other just enough space. There's Freddy, there's Barmer. Hello fellas, how are you? Through the first Lesmo, very wide on the exit. That might have been a warning. Well, Freddy looks. But rather wisely pulls out of making any sort of move at the second Lesmo. Typically that just results in death, to be perfectly honest. But he's going to have a look here into turn 8. They're side by side. They give each other room. Contact. But they get through. That's good. Everybody gets through. Relatively okay. KD overtaking Electric Blade. That's a bit scary. Not to ride, to watch. See a car move like that. Oh, and Freddy! He's lost a bunch of positions. He's perpendicular to where he should be facing. He's fallen to 15th. Gets going again, but he's a long way behind the pack now. Ooh, get off that on board, dearie me. That's Double M Bean. And that's Wing It. He's spun out. And it's in between turn 1 and 2. He's fallen to 14th. So some restart drama here at Monza, which you do kind of expect. This is Monza. Kitten Petter has got his wing mirrors full of Alpine right now. Oh, and a big moment there. Oh, and a bigger one from Bean! And how are you not out of the race? Let's be honest. Did you even hit the wall? Let's have a look. I'm curious. Have you got a missing end plate? You do have a missing end plate. So that means you definitely hit the wall. How are you still running? Because that was a big shunt as Lunacy goes through into P10. DRS is now enabled. And for Lunacy... Ooh, a bit wide there. Needs to try and get a move on. Breezy getting by Electric Blade, or sort of, kind of. They're still side by side. Breezy goes through into 4th. Lopez still holding his own in 2nd. Good to see, but eventually he has to make a pit stop. Being a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Just to rub some extra salt into the wound there. Through the chicane of turns 4 and 5. And that's a spinning R-bar. Ugh, thank goodness ghosting's turned on, eh? So, several drivers having moments. Wing It had a moment, R-bar had a moment, Fred and Bean, they all had moments on the restart. Perhaps drivers just pushing a little bit too hard. They just need to find their rhythm around here, because this circuit can bite. Breezy running wide, using all of the racetrack. That's Bean, oh dear. He's not having a great race at Monza. Hopefully he'll find his feet soon. Barmer, he's close to Andy. Can he have a go? Let's see. DRS open. No, Andy's got some legs on that McLaren. He's pulling away. Bit of weird driving there. Just moved across to the inside for no reason. KD attacking Lopez around the outside. Vermua's left the session. Oh, he was still in the session, just watching on. Good to see. And he's through. KD into 2nd place. It's a big margin, though, to the car in front. A gap of 3.3 seconds between P1 and 2. Ooh. Barman using all of the track there. Andy, he'll close in on Electric Blade, but I don't think he'll be able to pass. Yeah, not yet. Just closes in enough. An awkward run through the chicane. Andy gets a better one. Oh, he might have a go here at Curva Alvaretto. Fred Ed, a 3-second time penalty. Oh, wide. Whoa. Keeps it on the track. Just. Oh, hello. Battle for P7 as well. There goes Electric Blade to join the battle between Barmer and JD. Who? JD sends it down the inside. They're still side by side through turn 2. And there's Lopez. Hello, Lopez. You've had a moment. You've spun out. Everybody wants to spin out. Deary me. Electric Blade under attack here from JD. Down the inside at turn 4. Barmer tries to follow, but he can't. Can't quite follow there. Through the first Lesmo. Then into the second. Using a whole heap of battery, using DRS, so is Electric Blade. Through the chicane. Scary chicane. Bummer's got a hell of a run. Pulls out. He's alongside the Haas. Not quite. Oh, and the Haas just backs off completely. Fair enough, I suppose. Electric Blade just not mucking around, just letting him go. Oh, that's why he's going into the pits. And that is SWM Bean retiring. And another safety car. Safety car number 2. Well, it's probably not the race Bean wanted for sure. It's just had an absolute stinker here at Monza. And that DNF is basically the cherry on top. But this has given his teammate a chance to go for the lead. KD's sitting pretty in second place, Breezy in third. These guys can go to the end. Lunacy might pit for another set of softs, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, here we go. Into the pits comes Cameron. KD follows. Does anybody stay out? No, Breezy doesn't. Andy doesn't. JD doesn't. They're all coming in. Anybody going to stay out? Bersy is. He wants that track position. I'm surprised not many other drivers are taking that. Might as well take a gamble, get that track position. But a lot of people pitting him for fresh tyres. A lot. But sure, I can try and find out who's leading the championship. I will need to look on the Contest of Speed website because I don't have it on the Discord. Contest of Speed. That's their Twitter handle. I need to find their website. There it is. And that's if the championship standings have been updated. Of course, I think they should be though. But, website is taking a while to load. There we are. Now let's see, can I find America's Tier 1? I can't find it. EU1, EU2, EU3, AM1, here it is. That's Season 7. Have they done Season 8 standings? From the looks of things, they haven't. Hang on, I'll double check the Discord, see if they don't have championship standings here. They might not. They don't. Reserved commentary terms, podcast, incident footage support. Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you who's placed where in the championship. Unfortunately, their website hasn't updated since Season 7. Last season. So I won't be able to give any context for the championship. That might be something I'll have to do, is look over the previous streams and just tally up who scored what, because I'm not 100% sure. Sorry about that. Hopefully the results are being recorded though. It's a bit strange to be 4 rounds in to have no championship table. Anyway, probably time to focus on the race again. Lap 19 of 27. We should be going back under green flag racing now. There we go. So the safety car in this lap. Yeah, no, I couldn't find it. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Bean. Passassin leading Barmer by 18 points. That's right, Barmer's had some really solid races as of late. And of course, Passassin's leading. He's been really strong over the past few races. So, I'm going to have to tally up the points though, see if I can't find what the results are. But look at Cameron really bunching up the field. How quick are you travelling? Snail's pace, and away he goes. He did exactly what Lopez did just before Curva Alvareto. He just send it. He's built up a 6/10 margin already. Trying to get some more temperature into the tyres. We have 8 laps to go here at Monza. KD has got it all to do. Try and catch up. Fight for the lead. KD just moving out. Just showing Andy he's right there. Arbar getting by Wingett. Side by side. And Bersey did pit as well. So he's back down to 14th place. Failed to notice that. Arbar through into 9th. And look at Cameron pull away. He's already got a second lead over KD. My goodness. Cameron just... he's got a lot of pace underneath him right now. KD using overtake to try and claw back time. Through the Ascari chicane. Well, missed the first apex, missed the second apex. Missed the third. Deary me, KD, you lost half a second. That was a shocking run to Ascari. Even I know that, and I'm a pleb on this game. Freddie overtaking Lunacy, that is for P11. Breezy right on the back of KD, ready to attack. Not using any overtake though, just biding his time. With 7 laps to go. Closes in just a little bit. When DRS is activated, that's when the fun begins. With the amount of laps remaining, drivers aren't going to muck around. They're really going to fight hard for every position. JD looks very race. Oh, never mind. He's clobbered the curb at turn 4. He's lost a whole heap of ground. Fortunately, he's still in P5 and still in the race. Ooh, and Barmer has a moment there at the exit of the first Lesmo. Saw him a bit sideways there. Oh, hello. Oh, wow, that was really easy. Lopez not fighting. He's sort of saying, hey, you're quicker, just go by. I'm not going. Oh, and off the road! That's Electric Blade in the Haas. Having a big moment there at Ascari. He's still in the race, though, and still in the top 10. The penalties are definitely going to play a part in this. DRS enabled. And that is Fredhead. He's had a moment at the final turn. He's lost a whole heap of ground. JD has overtaken Andy. There he goes. Through Rettifilio. And Freddie's just straight up retired. He's had enough. We'll have to wait and see whether he did that by himself or maybe he was collected by somebody. But that makes it 5 retirements over the course of this race, and we've still got a few laps to go. And that's a yellow flag, and that's Electric Blade. Doing a nice donut in front of the fans, so very good. Look at the gap! 3.1 seconds. Oh my goodness. See, that's better, KD. That's much better. There's JD and Andy having their scrap. Rightio. KD won't have DRS, Breezy will. Should be a fairly simple overtake. Uses a bit of battery, pulls alongside, and he goes past. Very nice. Arbar and Lopez are side by side. What are you up to? Arbar gets through. Lopez on the inside can't get the traction down. Just lost a whole heap of ground. Oh, catch it! He caught it! And hello, Barmer, how are you? He's now on the back of the Alpine. JD, bit of a moment, exiting De La Roggia. Manages to catch it, only just. Doesn't have DRS though, and here comes Barmer. Pulls alongside, looks, doesn't commit to a move though. He wisely backs out of that. Now, JD. Can he close within 1 second of the McLaren? Come on, Alpine. No, not enough. 1.1, he won't have DRS. This man will though. Sitting in the slipstream, using whatever battery he's got, opens DRS, pulls alongside, and he's through. P5 now for Barmer. And considering everyone's on the same tyre, effectively, look, everyone's on the softs. Either 5, 6, and there's one full lap old there with Kit and Petter. I might as well change it to this, a penalty scenario. Lopez and Wingett, they have 3 seconds each. Bursey and Electric Blade, they have 3 seconds each as well. Make that Lunacy too, he has 3 seconds. Can KD do anything? He's probably being a bit patient. He's not going to use up too much of his battery. He's going to stay within a second and then attack real late. Using battery here though. Didn't really need to do that. Either that or Breezy's just got the outright pace. No, I don't think KD's being conservative at all. He's going to attack. Here we go. Oh, he backs off though. Backed off a lot. So maybe I was right the first time. Maybe he is going to be a bit conservative. And Barmer's on the back of Andy. Oh, great. Driving from Barmer to close onto the back of the McLaren. He was a second in front. He's alongside. Whoa, a bit awkward through there. Arbar and Lopez are soon going to get involved in this as well. KD's losing a bit of ground. Gap has opened up to 9/10. Still has DRS though. And closes in on the Williams. Out in front though, Cameron Scott. Absolutely no trouble as Barmer goes through into P4. Heading towards Curva Alboreto. Everybody closely packed, ready to race. Any one of these drivers could finish in 4th place. And here comes Andy to retake that 4th place. JD can't overtake the Mercedes, not quite just yet. Lopez, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. He now has 6 seconds next to his name. Got 2 laps left here at Monza. I reckon the drama's about to intensify. Barmer looks. Doesn't go for a move though. Gonna wait for the DRS zone. KD, he's close. He's very close. He won't go for a move just yet. He'll go for the move on the next lap. Breezy knows it too. So for Breezy's sake, he needs a great run out of Ascari, which he's got. He needs a great run out to the final turn, out of Curva Alboreto. If he can get that run, he might just be able to hang on, though KD might be a bit too close. The gap increases to 4/10. KD doesn't have a lot of battery. I think he's got about 8%. He opens DRS. He closes in. This is the final lap of the race. He looks to the inside. Doesn't go for the move, though. Oh, look. You can try and get it done at turn 8 at the beginning of Ascari, but it's so difficult to make the move stick. And look at the gap increase to 6/10. Oh, I think KD might have dug himself into a hole he can't get out of. So long as Breezy gets through this sector relatively okay, I don't think KD can attack. And now Andy's within a second of the Alfa Romeo. He will have DRS, which means Barmer isn't really able to attack into turn 8. Out in front though, Cameron's got a healthy lead. So long as he gets through Ascari, which looks like he does, he should take the checkered flag. And look, KD not close enough. I think he blew his chance at turn 1 for second place. He's going to have to accept third. They're coming around the final corner for the final time. Cameron will take a superb victory here at Monza. He wins the Italian Grand Prix, and look at him. He's absolutely elated. Breezy will come home in second place for Williams. KD, it will be P3. P4 for Andy, and a spinning JD. Finishes P6. Arbar 7th. Kizzenpetter in 8th. Wingett in 9th. Then Lopez rounds out the top 10. Well, there we are. Electric Blade is going to finish backwards. I mean, why not? Where's the finish line? There it is. Oh. AI having a great time trying to get it pointed back in the right direction. Burzy given driver of the day after crashing out in qualifying. We'll see how his race panned out in the final results screen. But there we are. Cameron taking the win here at Monza. A healthy win as well. Gap of 7 seconds at the end. That's a big margin. You'd be satisfied with that performance, I'm sure. Breezy, I'm sure he's happy with the second place finish. Maybe a bit surprised. KD, he really blew his chance of fighting for that second place, leaving it too little too late. But there we are. Cameron fastest lap as well, so he gets a full complement of points here at Monza. He'd be really satisfied with that performance. We've gone through the top 3. Andy in P4, Barmer P5, JD P6. Look at Barmer from P10 up to P5. Andy P7 up to P4. Good races for both of them. Arbar P7. Kizzenpetter 13th to 8th. Wingett 11th to 9th. Lopez from 17th to 10th. How is that not driver of the day? He's made up 7 places. Burzy went from 18th to 12th. He made up 6 places. How is Lopez not driver of the day? Oh, this game is weird, is it not? Lunacy, P11, making up 3 places over the course of the race. Electric Blade, our final finisher, in 13th. Retirements, Freddie, Bean, Passassin, Peyton, and Vermeer. All of them retiring from this race. My goodness. What an absolute drama fest we had, huh? Might as well grab this. Never know, the stewards might need it. And considering there's no timer, might as well take advantage of this. All the pit stops that took place over the course of this race. Well, I think that might just have to wrap everything up here at Monza. Oh, there's a timer, but we'll go through the outro now. So, yeah, with the race finally over, it's time to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week, though. Still plenty of racing to come here on Contest of Speed, but for the AM1 Championship, we'll have to wait till next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 6 at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. Until then, good night.